What's good, YT family? Welcome back to another video. Hope you enjoy. Like, comment, subscribe. Now I'm gonna jump into the video. So, what is my main tip, my main piece of advice, or any principles that I live by through my daily life? So let me start off with just a little bit backstory on me. I grew up Trenton, New Jersey, East Coast, Jersey boy. Shout out to my Trenton niggas. Shout out to my Jersey boys out there. I grew up on the East Coast. Uh, Decent family, decent sized family. Very supportive mother. Didn't really have my father in the house, but was very present in my life. Even though we didn't have the greatest relationship, it could have been better. But either, regardless of the fact, excuse me, he was present in my life at the time. Or he still is. He's still alive. Shout out to my pops. I had a big family, so my family pretty much is all around Trenton. I grew up all around family, uncles, aunties, cousins. I had a big family, right? Had always really a big family presence, and I'm still big on family. Then, about the year of 2008, moved to Chicago, a whole different city, whole different area, a whole different culture of people. With now who is my stepfather. Shout out to my stepfather. My mother got remarried and moved to Chicago, Illinois. Then took me a while to adjust, but when you're young, it's not that hard for you to adjust, right? You make friends easy, and if you're a friendly person, you make friends very easily. But one thing I will say is this: I learned to adapt, and I learned to kind of be on my own, right? Because when I was in Jersey, I was always around family. I always had a real big supporting cast. But until I moved to Chicago, that's when I started to realize that you can't depend on family, or you can't depend on anyone for anything you want in life. And that's one thing I definitely feel like I learned during my time in Chicago. Really to embrace being a man, embrace being an individual, and being a man of principle. When you going through life, and when you going through tough situations, it's going to take a lot of inner confidence, a lot of inner what do I want to say? Resilience, right? It's going to take sacrifice, most importantly, especially if you're someone who comes from, I wouldn't say privileged background. Well, I guess so. I guess privileged background, if you want to say it. And this is not to say that if you come from a place of privilege, that you can't be successful, or you got to be from the streets, or any of those things. But even if you are a person who comes from a place of privilege, it would be very wise for you to seek out finding out how to soon be independent, be self-reliant, because that is going to build the confidence within you to pretty much navigate through anything you do in life. Whether you're going to school, whether you're going, you want to do the entrepreneur route, whether you want to do business, any of these things are going to require you to be reliant and trustworthy to yourself. You have to learn to trust yourself, trust your own gut, your own intuition. Now, what is it that makes us feel that we want to trust, right? Because we don't want to feel that way. We don't want to think that the friends around us won't support us. We don't want to feel as if the family around us don't support us, or they wouldn't, they don't believe in our dreams and ambitions. But I hate to say it, unfortunately, that is true. When it comes to anything you want in life, you're going to be the only one who's going to fight for it. You're going to be the only one who's going to believe, really, in whatever it is you're trying to do. When I first started doing YouTube, there were a lot of people who, quite frankly, surprised me that wouldn't support. People who I grew up with, who I was raised around, did not support. And it was so interesting that you would think at one time I figured for sure that this person would support, or for sure that she would support, he would support. But then until I started to actually build my own business and build my own lifestyle, that's when I realized that they won't. They won't. And it hurt for a while, and it took a while to get used to, but you get used to it. You get used to being alone. You get used to uh, relying on your own intuition and trusting God and trusting the Almighty to steer you into the right direction. So when you alone, when you by yourself, don't chase comfort. Don't chase comfort. A lot of us, when we get alone, we tend to even sacrifice to get to be comfortable, or not even comfortable. I don't even want to use the word comfortable, but we chase what we're used to. We chase what doesn't challenge us, what makes us feel that we already come from a place of understanding. We don't need much to think about when it comes to doing certain things. So let me give you an example. Talking to talking to a female, depending on who you are, can be very stressful if you're not prepared to, if you're not confident, if you're not able to portray, you not necessarily portray, but if you're not comfortable in who you are as a man, talking to anyone can be stressful. Not even just women, but anyone. When you're not comfortable and confident in yourself, you can't do job interviews. You suck at job interviews because you're not comfortable. You're not confident. When you're taking a test in college, or you're taking a test to get into the military, whatever it is, if you're not confident, if you're not principled in yourself, if you're not comfortable in yourself, you'll fail the test and you'll sack yourself out. But what's the first thing that men do majority of the times when they get lonely? They start to do bad habits, eat terrible food, comfort food, food that we understand is killing us and is not helping us build our bodies in great shape or any of those things. We know this already, and we eat it and we indulge. Pornography. We can easily call a female and try to slick talk her out the draws, but we rather not do that. We rather just put on a porno because we know it's accessible and it's easy. It takes little to no effort to do it. We don't want to we want to do our own business, but we understand that in the first few years or first couple years, you're probably not going to see any results. You're not going to see any uh you know uh you know yeah, any results. And people just stick to 9 to 5 jobs and they hate it, knowing that they want to do something better. Knowing they want to do something better. They hate their body. They hate what they look like. They don't want to go to the gym. They don't want to do any of the things that the small things that will make their life easier tomorrow. But if my thing is this, that little 10 seconds of discomfort, that little 30 minutes of discomfort, 2 hours of discomfort is way better than a lifetime of miserable uh mediocrity, whatever you would call it. It's better being if let's just say if the Almighty came up to you right now and he was talking to you just as much as I'm talking to you, and he asked you, whatever your name is right now watching this video, if you give me 2 years, if you give me 2 years of your life to mold you and push you, and you will work hard for 2 years, but for the rest of your life, after that 2 years, you'll be successful. Would you do it? Would you say, oh, wow, that's okay. So if 2 years of my life, and then the rest of my life, I can be successful? Oh, yeah, I would do that. I would do that. I would do it honestly myself. My only question to you now is why don't you? Why don't you? Why don't you eat a healthy diet for 6 months to a year, and then once your body is in shape, or once you get good, you get confident, and you get, because you will see results. I know that for a fact. I know that for a fact. Nobody can tell me that their diet is straight, they're saving money, they're working out, they're on their purpose. No one can tell me all those things, that they do all those things and they're still miserable. I don't know one person who's like that. I don't know one person who's like that. And even then, even if they have all those things, I'm pretty sure there's something that they're not saying, that they're neglecting. But even then, those people are happy of some sort, right? They're happy. They're happy. They're happy. You can easily make those adjustments in a year, 2 years. And then after the 2 years or whatever, once you get good at whatever you're doing, now you can fuck off a little bit. Now you can, take a 3-month vacation where you just bullshit and you're not really doing much. You can take a 6-month vacation or whatever, you're not doing anything, you're just lollygagging and doing what you do. But why don't you just give up the year? Give up the year, start over. It's no reason to start over. It's nothing wrong with starting over, especially if you're young. Especially if you're young. I'm 25. And I just joined the United States Navy. I go to boot camp in July. I'm starting completely over. And I'm not, and honestly, I don't regret it at all. Because now I have a direction. Which means I have a purpose. And when you have a purpose, I could keep going on and on and on and on about the same video, but I guess I will for every video. No purpose, no chicken. No purpose, no chicken, no money, no happiness. A lot of people say shit like, I'll be honest, man. A lot of people, will disagree that money doesn't bring happiness. I say, let me try it and I'll let you know. let me try being rich and I'll let you know if I'm happy or not. But I digress. Is the sacrifice worth it? Yes. The sacrifice will be worth it. I promise you. If you stop eating fast food for a year, you will feel better. Not only will you look better, but you'll feel better. Which is most important. You save up, 10% of your check, 15% of your check, whatever you're doing, however you're getting the money. You save up each check $200 a month, $300 a month. You just stash it, put it away. Different bank account, whatever. The only time you use the ATM, that bank account is when you go deposit money. 300, 300, 300, 300, 400, 400, 200, 100, whatever. In a year, you'll have $1,000 that you have not touched. You'll have $2,000 that you have not touched. $3,000 that you have not touched. But you have to make that sacrifice now. You have to make that sacrifice now. And you have to be willing to start over and be uncomfortable and be in environments that you're not used to. The reason why you chasing comfort is the reason why you're in this position that you are right now. You trying to be comfortable is the reason why you out of shape. You trying to be comfortable is the reason why you broke. You trying to be comfortable is the reason why you haven't had sex in 5 years or whatever. Because you scared to be uncomfortable. You have to embrace that. You have to embrace that. And it don't take for you to be from the hood to embrace that. Now, yes, when you in a hood, when you in the streets, there ain't no choice but to be uncomfortable. Cause niggas is on it. not necessarily on it with you, but you know what I'm saying, everybody uncomfortable. If you look around, everybody, you know what I mean, if nobody's on their purpose making money, yeah, everybody's gonna be looking like a fucking demon. Or not I ain't gonna say a demon, but everyone's gonna be looking, you know, everyone's gonna be in a state of stress when shit is not when shit is not going how they want it to go. You don't have to be from the hood to notice that, or even to be like that, or you know, you don't got so don't take it as like, oh well, you know, I ain't from the streets, so I never have to hunt. Man, that's bullshit. That's bullshit. I was born in the hood. I was raised in the hood. I lived most of my life in the suburbs, but I out hustle niggas from anywhere. I out hustle. I out grind anybody. Facts. Facts. So I don't want to. That you know, I'm not giving no excuse of any sort. But you have to embrace being uncomfortable. That's one thing that I'm not gonna say I mastered, but I'm well acquainted with. I know how to be uncomfortable, bro. I know how to embrace that nervous feeling that you get. That nervous feeling, you know, like when you about to get in a fight or you about to get in an altercation or there's chaos of some sort, and you get that feeling in your gut, even if you're not necessarily scared, it's a feeling in your stomach that you get when you in a place that when you in a place that you aren't familiar with. It's natural for everyone. I've learned to adapt to that. I've learned to embrace that feeling. I've learned to be okay with that feeling and tell myself, when self tells me, "Oh, I'm scared, I should leave," or "I'm scared, I should do something different," or whatever. In my mind, I say, "Man, fuck that. Fuck that. We not running from nothing. We not running from nothing." Oh, I shouldn't do a video today. But in back of my head, I'll be like, man, fuck that. You doing a video today because you thought it. So that means if you thought it, then that means there should have been some kind of action for it. This is a blessing from the Almighty. But I have to embrace being uncomfortable, being scarce or being in fear. That's normal. It's normal. But what you don't want to do is start to live in that. You start to tell yourself shit, and then now you start to believe it. And when you start to believe it, now it's real. Now it's real. As a man thinketh, so it is. But you have to embrace that uncomfortable feeling. You have to embrace that. Like, comment, subscribe. Shout out to the creative natives out there. Follow me on Instagram under @IAM_Eli Soul. I do lives every day. If you want to do a live, we could chop it up. We could rap. But other than that, holla at your boy. Peace out.